and I hope we have discussed something enough on push pull. So the basic requirement is that now we should, or industry should go for the full type of systems now the in manufacturing, and basic requirements of full system also we have discussed that now you need to change a lot when we talk about the full system. You need to change the we can say the manufacturing system, or overall the way in which now you are doing business whenever you want to pull that, because the expectations in pull are less. In short time now you need to satisfy your customer, and so you need to revamp the systems, you need to rearrange the machines and look at everything now the whatever traditionally you are doing so should be changed or modified. So now moving ahead, I hope you are audible. I'm audible to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll be looking at the macro processes of supply chain. Now we have seen different stages of supply chain, and we have seen how the views of supply chain are, or supply chain is basically studied and managed now by two ways. Now the one we have seen cyclic view, and another view we have seen as a push pull view. Then moving ahead now with these concepts now at some macro level now is again dividing now these systems now into the actual requirement or actual processes or actual functions now which are required within different cycles of supply chain stages. We see, if you see this slide here, then I have shown here suppliers, and here we are the customers. So this is what now is the general traditional way to look at the supply chains. Now this supply chain now is divided into basically now the three type of processes. So one starts with supplier relationship management. It is short form is SRM. Another one is ISCM, that is internal supply chain management, and third one is CRM, that is customer relationship management. So basically our supply chain, as we have seen, that it starts from supplier and ends at the customer end, and so these are different processes now which we need to integrate in order to optimize our supply chain performances. So it starts now with the it may be considered now as a cyclic view. So you can see that now these are the processes now between supplier and organization. But now but because it is macro view now some of the stages now are avoided now in this case now which are your distribution network and transportation, or which is now related to your uh, what we can say dealers and distributors, so that network. But that network now will be taken care now during this macro processes. So the first process now the division now in which these processes are classified is supplier relationship management. So supplier relationship management is a big domain of supply chain management. In fact, now as we have seen that the productivity of these supply chains now they depend upon how your suppliers are formed. Is if suppose now as we are discussing, if we are going for just in time manufacturing as a need of any supply chain management, modern supply chain management, yes, we have to go for just in time manufacturing. We have to see that our cycle times are reduced. We have to see that we are manufacturing in less time, and we have to see that now once we get the order, the lead time now is very less, so that now the customer will be happy, and we can now get more business now from the society. And so the best required now the thing is that now how your suppliers are strong. Usually what happens now for any product now the industries go for multiple suppliers. For any product there is not only one supplier now for any product. You might have seen these requirements now during uh, studies of some manufacturing strategies. So So whenever now we decide supplier, now yes, now the criteria again is cost now the as it is everywhere. But along with now the cost, now the company has to look at now other parameters also, which will help to satisfy the uncertainty requirements of supply chain management. As you see that now this uncertainty is very high in supply chains, and in order to accommodate that uncertainty during your supply chain, you need to have multiple suppliers. Now this is possible. Now whenever now we are talking about organizations, we have to classify these organizations into two sectors. Now the one is government sector, another one is a private sector. As far as government sector is concerned, the other parameters now they have no much importance, or they cannot be given priority with in comparison to cost. सो यहाँ पे जिसका कॉस्ट कम आएगा उसको आपको ऑर्डर देना पड़ेगा, एंड द ऑर्डर now they should go to that supplier. So this is one requirement, in government organizations. There are certain reasons now the why it is like that. Yes, it is not like that. Government also understand the importance of other parameters, but in order to uh, avoid the misuse of funds, now these strategies now are adopted by government organizations. Yes, the government industries, if we consider, then these kind of industries also work as per the private industries, and so in that case, with proper justifications, now these division of orders now with the different suppliers now they can be managed. One way to avoid this, what government does is that now they go for some predefined agreements now with the organizations. We call it as now the rate contracts. And in rate contracts now the rates are pre-decided. Now the suppose government want to purchase now the some computers, some laptops, or some Xerox machines, which are now the sorry, copying machines now which are required now the in huge quantity to the government. So instead of going for again calling tender and inviting quotations now for this process, now the government now they has prepared a general tender now they at national level, and based on the specifications now they have asked the companies to fill the tenders now for supply of the material. So this is irrespective of the manufacturer. So those who fulfill minimum requirements now, the suppose take example of copying machine or xeroxing machine. So government here will decide now the some basic requirements prior minimum criteria of Xerox machine, and the one minimum cost now the tender will be accepted. But the minimum cost now which is accepted by, which is offered by one company, it is offered to all the companies, and it is made offer to the companies that if they are willing to provide the materials within that rate, then that contract will be given to all everybody. And then government will publish a paper now the stating that now these are the materials now which can be purchased from any of the suppliers, and this is the cost decided for that. And so this is one way in which the work, more paperwork and repetition of the work can be avoided, and it can be justified that now the multiple suppliers now the will take place. I'm just giving you brief information about this process, because what I have observed is that now the many students now they don't know how this purchasing actually takes place. Now see, there are two types of ways in which the purchasing can be done. Yes, can you tell me how these purchases now they are done? Anywhere now the in general organizations, whether it is private or whether it is government organization. Chaitanya?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, Chaitanya, please. Chaitanya, yeah, you are audible. Okay, Harsh. Harsh, can you hear me? Harsh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you know about the purchasing methodologies, strategies, the adopted by organizations? Harshida?
Sir, I guess tender is released and the most suitable like supplier is approached,
What
and
is tender?
then it's like a notice, I guess. Uh, yeah, exactly. I don't know, but it's kind of notice that we require notice for requirements, and the most suitable supplier is then selected out of the
Okay. What is
uh,
quotation?
quotation is a offer, I guess. Like no, not a offer, but we quote what our requirements are uh, in terms of money, like financially, what are our like what basically the offer we make to the suppliers. I guess that's called quotation.
Okay. Okay. It's not like that. Okay. Harshal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any idea about these terminologies? Tender, quotations, purchasing.
So tender is basically like, for example, I would say if institute wants to set up a cyber physical system labs, it will issue a tender that it requires this material, or it requires some PCs, some hardware, or anything. It might be anything. Quotation is like the supplier will quote its amount, like he can fulfill their demand in this specific amount, and many suppliers like quote their amount, so the one who quotes the minimum amount for the uh, same components, he might get the tender.
Okay. See the names, these two different names like quotation or tender. Now, these are now similar names now for the same document. Usually, whenever organizations want to purchase, it is not like that we go to market and purchase anything. So this is not possible, but this can be done now for some small value items like below 500 or something like that. So this can be managed now through sundry expenses now which are very small expenses. But when you go for now the purchasing anything, then the one requirement is that now you should go for now go for the quotations. Quotation is the basic difference, or whether it is quotation or tender, is it is a document now as Harshada has said that now it describes now what are the specifications now you are looking for. So you will define the specifications, you will define the quantity, and you will define the terms and conditions that now how this now will be executed. Purchasing or procurement will be executed. Means who will give delivery and all these terminologies, payment terminologies, and these all will be mentioned now in that document. Now, whenever now you are purchasing, the basic difference between the quotation and tender is the value of the purchase. If the value of the purchase is now the below 3 lakhs, now this is the latest requirement of government, but private companies now they will decide now their own limits. Now if it is below 3 lakhs, then you can go for the quotations. And if the product value, single product value, is more than 3 lakhs, then you need to go for the tendering process. Quotation now as it is for small amounts, then it can be done locally, but in case of now the tenders, now you should advertise it now and it should not be locally purchased. Like you are giving this, yeah, if you are getting local suppliers, then you can purchase purchase that now, but it should be advertisement now. This should be done for the tenders, because so that now the more competitive offers now you should get, and you should purchase it at now optimum cost. That is the objective. So this is basic difference. So industries now the first of all decide the specifications, then they prepare the tender document or quotation document, and then they float these tenders now the into the market. This is a good terminology or a proper terminology which is used for calling the bids from the suppliers. So this is tender is now the floated. Now there is a particular now the period within which these companies or suppliers now they can fill the tenders, and then they can supply the material. So some particular time is given. Whenever now you are purchasing some special purpose machines, then tender document now is divided into two parts. One part is the technical specifications or technical capabilities, and another one is a financial bit. Now, so in such cases, now there will be two committees now who will be looking at now these aspects. One technical committee will be looking at the technical capabilities of the supplier. Now suppose now the आपको एक बहुत बड़ी बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है, तो in that case now you must look at the capability of the builders, isn't it? And so technically you should have fulfilled, or if you are purchaser, then you should specify that now the what should be the minimum requirements of the builder who will be getting this tender for building the building during your campus. You can say that now you should have constructed now the minimum 10 buildings of this capacity earlier. You should have this much turnover, or you should have this much machinery now with you. So or you should have this much manpower with you. So these conditions now they can be mentioned into the tender document. And या आपको कुछ भी कर देंगे, आपको सपोज ना दी सीएनसी मशीन आप परचेस कर रहे हैं, और आपको or if you want to purchase a car for your organization, then in that case now you will ask for the technical capabilities now of these suppliers. And once now those technical capabilities are fulfilled by the supplier, for them now you will be opening their offers or prices. And usually in government, the one who gives now the lowest cost now is preferred and given tender. Yes, this is the requirement in private organizations also, but as I said now, there is a need of multiple suppliers now in organizations now because we need to keep the lead times very short. We also now have most uncertainties. Because of uncertainties, the orders now they received for the organizations now they may vary. Many orders now they are unpredictable and urgent orders, which companies now they receive in very short time. And so in that case now you also need suppliers who has a capability to supply material on urgent basis. So this is also one of the criteria now why people are now keeping multiple suppliers. Another thing is that now many times now these materials are coming from some distances. In order to now they avoid the probable delays now they due to problems in transportation, also company now they keeps now the some additional suppliers. And so instead of now the giving order for one supplier, now they will be having multiple suppliers now they where orders will be divided. It is not necessary for organizations now they to have same cost now they for purchasing material from different vendors. Now it may differ now depending upon the prices they offer, their qualities, and so many parameters, transportation terms and conditions. So it may differ. And so whenever now we are talking about the supplier relationship management, then it is required that now you will be having supplier relationship with the different suppliers. So first stage or process of which is in supplier relationship management is source. Sources are your suppliers. Now these are your vendors. These are now the multiple sources now through which now you receive the material. Another process now the of supplier relationship management is a negotiation. As we have said that now yes now even it is stated that now this is the cost, then many times or probably most of the times now these costs are negotiated with the organizations. They are further negotiated now with their tenders, but there are certain rules and regulations now for doing these negotiations. Negotiations now are not only done for prices, but negotiations are done for the terminologies, for the terms and conditions of the business, like what will be the freight charges now, the what about insurance, because if you are importing some material, then this becomes now the again very complicated. Then it becomes now the very troublesome, or the quantum of the work now the in this importing of materials now the is very very high, because you need to decide very specific terminologies. होता क्या है कि suppose you are importing some material now the from Japan, तो you give the order, then Japan, you have to decide what will be terminology. मतलब आप जाके जापान से मटेरियल लेके आएंगे कि आपको आपको डोर तक डिलीवरी लगेगा. If you look at the terms and conditions of different countries, and there are so many laws and the different things now, the most of the companies now the don't get the material now the from their end. They will ask that now the supplier has to supply the material now the to their end. मतलब मेरा मुंबई में प्लांट है, and if I'm uh, uh, purchasing something from Tokyo, I will ask the company to give the material at my to my doors. Now there are again different conditions now for that. मतलब वो मेरे डोर तक दे देंगे या मेरे 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 जहाँ पे मुझे यूज करना है वहां तक दे देंगे. Many times now whenever now we are importing materials, now they may be like machinery, so it will be order will be given up to installation and testing. So install करना है, testing करना है, then मुझे चालू करके उन्होंने देना है, then I will make their payment. So these conditions now they should be mentioned now in your tender document, and then now there should be some agreement. As I said that now if you are purchasing something, if I'm purchasing something from Tokyo, then if suppose now I have to receive the material, there may be some companies now who are who is having monopoly, and they will say that no, we are now not giving material, आप आपका लेके जाओ. Then see how much difficult it is for me to get the material from Tokyo. I have to go there. I have to again now find some transporter now who can deliver these materials. Now whenever now I find out some transporter, then I have to follow now all the rules and regulations and guidelines of that company. Then वहां से मैं उठाऊंगा. I will get it now at some airport or some ship के लिए कोई पोर्ट पे मैं लेके जाऊंगा, and then from port to ship में मुझे चढ़ाने के लिए then I will need some another agency or some mechanism. वहां से ship से यहाँ आ जाएगा, then ship से आने के बाद we don't know where it will come, then transportation from that ship to again to my plant. So lot of transportation, lot of handling of the material, which requires now the much time, much precautions, and heavy risk now in receiving these materials. And so I have to also look at the insurance now cost and transportation cost now which will be associated now if I am purchasing this material. So this is also required now whenever you are negotiating. So if you are negotiating now with some particular supplier now which is from particular country, the negotiations with X company will not be equal to negotiations with Y company, because their terminologies and their government restrictions will be different, and which will be binding on you. And so this is again part of supplier chain management. This is again a big process. Then buying is a process now. As we have seen that now the buying is a process to actually procure the material. Means you will find out sources here, you will negotiate with them, you will decide the prices required, and then you will complete the processes, and you will buy that. मतलब आपने जितना भी term whatever you have decided now आपने उनको order दे दिए, you have made agreement with them, and then you have fulfill that, and जो भी decide किया था उससे आपने करके material आप लेके आए. So this buying process now is coming under supplier relationship management. Then there are design collaborations. Now this is also coming into supplier relationship management, because this is for the suppliers. As I have said that now your supply chain does not end at your end, it ends at supplier's end. And so the supplier now who is supplying material now he should also part of your supply chain. अभी आपका सप्लाई चेन मतलब क्या है? आपका सप्लाई चेन मतलब आपकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्ट्रेटेजी है, आपकी नेगोशिएशन स्ट्रेटेजी है, आपकी क्वालिटी स्ट्रेटेजी है, एंड सो ऑल दीज नाउ द स्ट्रेटेजी, और आपको कस्टमर वैल्यू स्ट्रेटेजी है. All these now the strategies now the whichever you follow should also be followed, at least for as far as that part is considered now the which is supplied now the by that company. And so now the you should have some collaborations now the which are called as a design collaborations. मतलब आप suppose now the if you are using ERP SAP ERP, then you should find out suppliers. Now the supplier also should now be use now the SAP ERP, so that now this will be convenient now the for using that. Or other in other way now they should also at least now they have some ERP software now the with them, so that now that processing now they will become easy. And then supply collaborations I are is a concept now which is uh, going beyond the traditional concepts of supply chain management. Supply collaborations are collaboration of everything. मतलब you providing now the training for their employees. Now if suppose now the आपकी कुछ specific requirement है, you are working now with some specific guidelines or specific standards, and these standards के लिए तो आपको training देना ही पड़ता है. Now see in industry now the when any strategy is implemented, whether it is Six Sigma, whether it is now the Pokai, okay, whether it is total quality management, or whether this is ERP, so you need to train your people. Similarly now the in supply collaborations you also will be training to the people of your supplier. मतलब उसके भी लोगों को आपको ट्रेन देना पड़ेगा, so that now they will become a part of your process. Are you getting? And so this is coming under supplier relationship management. So these are the processes of supplier relationship management. Now these are the processes as we have seen, as we have discussed in cyclic view. These are the processes between supplier and operations, or supplier and firm or organizations. Now then comes after supplier relationship management, now the comes the internal supply chain management. In fact, this internal supply chain management now is the supply chain management now during organizations. मतलब now the once you receive the material, then it is not concerned now with आपके suppliers, or इसका कोई संबंध नहीं आएगा, but it is now the related with the internal supply chain. Now internal supply chain management now the is concerned about the strategic planning, demand planning, supply planning, fulfillment of field services. So these are the requirements. So as we know that now the strategic planning, as we have seen the decisions now the of strategic decisions. Now the decisions now the which are very important now the for the organizations will be coming into the strategic planning. So this may be your plant location selection, then plant capacity selection. This may be manpower requirement. Then it can be a technology implementation. It can be a layout decision about the machine. So these are strategic decisions, or warehouse location decision, or transportation modes selection decision. तो दीज आर ऑल स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग डिसीजंस, जहां पे आप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस है, उसका इम्पैक्ट बहुत हेवीली होगा आपके बिजनेस पे. दीज टाइप ऑफ डिसीजंस यू विल डिसाइड इन स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग. Now these are the decisions now which once accepted now they will be difficult to change, or it will have very large impact now if your decisions are formed. Like suppose आपने एक plant location, जैसे हमने सिंगूर का example लिया, so that strategic decision was wrong, and then lot of losses now has to be borne by Tatas. So this strategic now the planning is again internal supply chain planning. Now as far as now our internal supply chain is considered now within that now we will consider the different strategic decisions, like now the product flows, then production lines, कितने production lines करना है, product flow क्या होगा, what will be the layout as we have discussed, then material flow, then material handling, equipment selection. So these will be decided into strategic planning. Then there is a demand planning, as we have seen that now here we will be deciding that now how much demand and when to order that. We will be deciding economic order quantities, we will be deciding our safety stock, we will be deciding the locations now for the material, we will be deciding the ways by which the material will be transported from your warehouses, or not warehouses, but your stores now the to the work areas. So that will be supply planning, and then fulfillment of field services. These are not two different things, but this is fulfillment of field services. So then field services are field requirements, मतलब internal जो आप within the organization whatever you are working, so these things will be taken care. And then there is a CRM. So this is customer relationship management. The customer relationship management is now the related towards the customer, and so this is called as customer relationship. Now this is concerned with the markets, then price, selling, then call centers and order management. Markets is now the to finding out markets, then to reaching to the market, then going to the customers and actually finding their requirements. Now this is again one biggest requirement of any organization to do market surveys. Market surveys are done to identify the current requirements as well as now the future requirements now the of the products. As we have discussed that now these many of the products now they has less product lives. Then in that case now the you need to identify the changing requirements of the customer whenever you launch the product. मतलब आपका प्रोडक्ट जब तक लॉन्च होता है तभी आपको स्टार्ट करना पड़ता है कि अभी आप और आपको क्या एक्सपेक्टेड है, एंड what now the additional things now they should be changed. Maybe you will be getting some responses now within short time, and then you collect that and go for the new design of the product. So this is done in marketing, and so that way these mm, changes now they are done now which is the impact of now the requirement of changing requirement of markets. Then there is a pricing policy now which comes under customer relationship management. Now the what should be the pricing policy? This is again big area now where you decide the productivity or profits now of your organization. As we see that now you can go for higher prices or you can go for lower prices. The higher prices now they will obviously now they give you higher profits or it will give you losses. Why I'm saying like that now because if you are now the pricing now the reasonably high, obviously the customer will go to your competitors, and so then in that case now you will be losing business and that will be losses. So always now the whatever now the price now the you increase, now that is not going to increase your turnovers or your profit margins. And so this should be carefully done. So this is pricing, then selling. This is sales management. This comes this it includes now the marketing, then promotions, then managing your sales, then then yeah, you have to manage now. As see, you can see that now the demand is now the not certain now the all the time. Demand is uncertain, and so because of this uncertainty in demand, there will be a bad effect on the inventories, management of inventory, or transportation cost, or manufacturing schedules. So everything will disturb. Now what is the best manufacturing ideal manufacturing process is that now the material ऐसे smoothly अंदर आ रहा है, बाहर जा रहा है, and it is directly going to the customer, और डायरेक्टली वहां से कस्टमर से आपको प्रोडक्ट आ रहा है. सो देयर इज नो एनी स्टॉपेज, देयर इज नो इन्वेंटरी, एंड दैट विल बी आइडल. So this is what is expected. But actually this is not possible. ये तो होता नहीं है. And so we have observed that now there are different fluctuations now the in demand. So some month में बहुत ज्यादा sales होता है, some months में कम होता है, some particular days पे ज्यादा होता है, some particular days पे कम होता है. So this is to be managed so that there will be uniform sales now the through your outlets. And to make this possible, we need to normalize now this demand. And so demand normalization now can be done by different ways. How can we manage the demand? Yes, JV Singh.
Yes, sir.
How these demands can be managed?
Sir, firstly, we can do it by just in type. Means whatever is the demand at that time, then as per that we can manufacture. Then if we have uh, we have large inventory, then we can make a constant manufacturing. And when the demand is low, then those products will be in surplus, so they will be stored. And when the demand is high, then those products which are in inventory, they can use at the time of high demand. So
यस यस वो तो है, लेकिन व्हाट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज दैट आई एम सेइंग दैट नाउ दी ये होना ही नहीं चाहिए मुझे, मतलब ये जरूरत ही नहीं पड़नी चाहिए कि ये स्टोर करना है जहाँ पे कम डिमांड है तब मेरा कुछ नहीं बिजनेस चलेगा।
अच्छा,
मतलब that's what I am saying, that now you manage your sales. Also, any idea?
forecasting, sir, by doing demand forecasting.
Yes, उससे तो पता चल जाएगा कि कितनी डिमांड है, तो उससे आपको पता चला कि हाँ वो मैनेज करना है आपको, कि मतलब ये डिमांड को ही आपको चेंज करना है, और लाइक whatever now the traditional sales seen are seen now the during the forecast, now the उसको normalize करना है।
Sir, maybe we can look for high demand season, and
Yes.
then at that time we can increase the prices of the products, and in the season where the demand is low we can give discounts so that people will try to buy in that season also.
Yes, yes, that is way now it is done. That now you manage the demand. See, demand is now the uncertain. Demand is not constant. So sometimes now the आपने देखा होगा कि if you are now the going for purchasing the apparels आप ले लेंगे, तो if you are going festival season में आप दिवाली में अगर जाएंगे, तो you will see that there are no offers, and there is lot of rush to the stores, and then lot of demand is there, but as soon as now this season is gets over, then there is very slack season now for these businesses. So these are usual terminologies जो हमने देखा है कि अभी बहुत सीजन स्लैक सीजन है और अभी बहुत सीजन है, तो हमें क्या करना है एज ए इंजीनियर नाउ वी हैव टू नॉर्मलाइज देम। नॉर्मलाइज कैसे करेंगे कि as yes now the as we discussed now the here now the yes now the it can be done now the, as Anjali has also mentioned that now the, yes now the, we can normalize now the by increasing cost during the seasons, but this may not be the good idea all the time. Yes now the obviously the objective of the business is to earn money. Yes now the if you are getting now the customers now the, you can earn money, you can increase prices, but see its impact on customers. Aajkal customers now they are very smart, and there are multiple now the ways of buying the materials, and so this will not be a good idea now to increase the cost. Now you keep the cost now at that, but then when there is a off season, now then give discount. So discount is a concept, or sale is a concept which has come now the in order to manage now the your sales. आपको सेल्स मैनेज करने के लिए then you give the discount, and then because discount is there, now there will be shopping in unnecessary time or non seasonal time. तो non seasonal time में भी आपका 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 सेल्स ज्यादा रहेगा. Now it will help, this discount will help to increase the demand now the in off seasons, isn't it? मतलब ऑफ सीजन में डिमांड नहीं था तो भी आपने देखा कि हाँ उसका 40% है, चलो जाके घूम ही रहे तो चलो ये ले लेंगे, इसमें सस्ता है, इसमें सस्ता है, सो पीपल विल परचेज दैट. नाउ अनदर थिंग रिक्वायर्ड इज दैट नाउ आपको क्या करना है कि ये जो पीक सीजन में बहुत सारी डिमांड है ना उसको आपको कम करना है. So as Anjali has said, now that can be done, that increase the price, but this is not good idea as far as long term sales planning is concerned. So it will affect now the badly on long term sales. And so what can you do is that now you can offer these sales during the sales such that now the people will purchase for the next requirements. This is it is called as the forward buying in case of this sales or marketing management. So this is called as a forward buying. Forward buying मतलब जैसे see every year now the July में बारिश में 15 अगस्त को there are sales. तो you might have seen a lot of ये जो malls है उसमें बहुत भीड़ रहती है, and people now the purchase for the annual requirement. जॉकीज के सेल लगते हैं यहाँ पे, इफ यू सी हियर नाउ द जॉकी अंडरगारमेंट, सो इसमें भी बहुत सारे लोग दे परचेज फॉर अ होल ईयर्स रिक्वायरमेंट नाउ ड्यूरिंग दीस सेल्स, एंड सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ फॉरवर्ड बाइंग. सो इससे क्या हो गया कि लोगों का जो एनुअल रिक्वायरमेंट था जो सब लोग फेस्टिवल सीजन में वहां जाते थे परचेसिंग के लिए, नाउ नाउ दैट इज नॉर्मलाइज, मतलब वहां का फॉरवर्ड बाइंग हो गया, लोगों ने पहले ही परचेस करके ले लिया। तो नाउ दिस पर्संस नाउ दे will not go for large shopping now during this period, now they halka fulka leke aayenge and that load will be reduced. So forward buying now is one of the strategies now which can be implemented now for managing your sales. So this is for selling. Then there is a call center and order management. Now in customer relationship management, now this is very very happy. Now can somebody share me some good shopping experiences? As a customer now you were happy or you are happy always to buy from them, or that experience now was good, something some any case study. Come on, please. Then I have to call names. Yes, also.
Sir, by good experience, what do you exactly are expecting?
This is general example now. You are happy, मतलब आपने purchase किया and then you are happy, or you are happy with them, that you like their services. Anything.
Sir, then, like for example, there is a clothing store near my area which always has like stocked up. There are they are never out of stock for the clothes that I prefer, and also the things that I buy. I'm very much satisfied with the quality, so I think that's a good experience. So I keep going there repetitively.
Yes. Now, what are the things that you like there? Okay,
The
their
quality,
stocks, quality.
quality, and the customer service, like they are very welcoming towards new customers.
Okay, okay, okay. Anybody else?
So there's a bookstore here actually. So whole of our the area goes there to buy books. Actually, they are selling books for around 20-25 years now.
Okay.
So
What are the good things?
so what has happened is they have cut down a particular part of the supply chain. Basically, they are actually operating as a wholesale, something like that. So if I go to buy a notebook, I'll get a hefty discount if I just go from the price for what I get it in a stationery, and as well as uh, whatever book I require, even be it not in stock, they have contacts and they have a very good management. So every morning they can get the book from even from Delhi in one day. So that is very appealing for me for in a bookstore, because I can easily buy them at a lower price even on the compared to the online books rate, and as well as I get some discounts, and I can even return the book at a 60% return rate.
Yes, yes. Good, good. You see, now these are customers and there are some expectations, isn't it? Now, as I said, now the परसों हमने एक discussion किया था कि if you go to Allen Solly and something like that, now if they don't have the stock, आप suppose now if you want to purchase now some garments like trouser आप ले रहे हो, shirts आप ले रहे हैं, तो suppose now if that size is not available, they will immediately contact to nearby stores and they will get the material. So they will ask now, sir, if you are आप मॉल में घूम रहे हैं तो आधा घंटे में आ जाओ, now I will ask get it available. So customer is happy that आधा घंटे मिल रहा है, or they have also online stores, and that too you will be getting at discounted price. So these are the terminologies which appeal to the customer, and so that is the part of now the your customer management or through call centers. Now, suppose now if you have purchased now some laptop and some mobile. Now, if suppose now if you are now getting a call from the company after एक purchase करने के बाद suppose एक 15 दिन में एक महीने में आपको call ला गया कि sir thank you for purchasing now, sir or ma'am, whatever it is, yeah, thank you for purchasing from our shops or our company, and we would like to hear now if there are any issues. Customer will be delighted. Otherwise now बहुत सारे रिव्यूज आप क्यों देखते हैं, उसमें तो सब कस्टमर गाली देते रहते हैं, इनका ये नहीं है, हमने इतने बार फोन किया कोई आता नहीं है, सर्विस नहीं है, customer is not happy. So if you are going beyond that and if you are calling to the customer, we see the ideas. Now the ideas तो यहाँ से ही जनरेट होते हैं. I think now the एक शार्क टैंक का एक इंडिया में अभी कुछ तो स्टार्ट हो गया ना, You see that program?
Yes, sir.
Acha. So that is also good. I think कहाँ पे आता है वो?
सोनी पे सोनी.
सोनी पे आता है. Is it कब आता है? फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या है उसका?
अभी लास्ट वीक चालू है सर.
Yeah.
अभी
So I'll request you.
तो
You just now see that. Now that is the really amazing ideas now that you will be getting. Now you will be getting now the ideas about entrepreneurship and see this is just a different idea. मतलब कल भी मैं किधर तो देख रहा था कि just like imagine ये जो Lenskart का है. Lenskart is 35,000 crores का कंपनी है. Can you imagine Shadi.com thousands of crores now the see what are the requirements of society. मतलब इनको इनको कैच करके आपको आपको ओयो होटल्स का सप्लाई चेन देखो, बिग सप्लाई चेन, नो इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड लॉट ऑफ business. So this needs now the idea. You will be getting now the very fantastic now the ideas from that these type of programs. So this is required now. You can see that now the how this can be managed. So call center management now the is also part of supply chain management. You don't think that now the I'm a blue collar engineer and I'll not be doing that. No, you have to do that. आपको ये करना है सब. You have to manage. आपको कंपनी में जाके काम करना है तो apart from your all technical things, I don't know how much technical formulas and all these design concepts will be required now the on daily basis, but yes, now this is required. So call center management now they will make now the your customer relationships now they very happy. So this will make, suppose आप कोई टूर पे गए हैं, कोई आपने कोई होटल बुक किया था या फिर कार वाला एक हायर किया था, and suppose now he calls you after some day and he just asking that now this sir, how was your trip and do you remember me, then I was driver and I have provided you car and how are you. So you will be very happy. And if you find somebody now the again now the going to for touring for to that area, you can also give reference, अरे वो hotel बहुत अच्छा है उसमें रहो, or you can see that now ये मेरे पास एक driver का number है, you just now the take the quotation now the for your route. So this will help so to increase now your businesses. So this can be done in call center management. Is not actual call center, but this is what is the customer relationships now it can be managed. And then order management now the comes under the distribution of order, giving delivery or giving some offers on delivery now the like pizza कौन दे रहा था वो 30 minutes now the if not giving delivery then there will be free delivery of pizza. So some offers now they can be used now for managing orders. And if you are not doing this, then your business will be in trouble. Customer relationship management is one of the most required domain of supply chain management today. आपका टेक्नोलॉजी कितना ही अच्छा है, आपके सप्लायर्स कितने ही अच्छे हैं, बट इफ दिस इज बैड then in on general businesses now this will be affecting very badly. Not in the case now if suppose now बहुत कोई आपका you are having dominance now in that field now in उसमें तो ठीक है, उसमें तो चलेगा, कस्टमर एंड ये मत करो, but this will again now they will not last long. So if you want to be a long race winner, then this should be focused as far as now the supply chains are concerned. Okay, any doubts? Okay, then we will stop here for today. Attendance supply chain. Okay. Okay, so today's first, no, please, yeah, Karthik,
Yes, sir.
Shrikant,
Yes, sir.
Aditya,
Yes, sir.
Munish,
Yes, sir.
Rakesh,
Present, sir.
Sarthak,
Yes, sir.
Gurpreet, Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
Vedant,
Yes, sir.
Umar,
Yes, sir.
Ansari,
Yes, sir.
Nikhil,
Yes, sir.
Arshal,
Yes, sir.
Pradesh,
Yes, sir.
Javier Singh,
Yes, sir.
Mrityunjay,
Yes, sir.
Desai,
Yes, sir.
Praful,
Yes, sir.
Sagar, Venkatesh,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suraj,
Yes, sir.
Ritik,
Yes, sir. Hello,
Jayant.
sir. Present, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then Shubham,
Yes, sir.
Arnav,
Yes, sir.
Atharva,
Yes, sir.
Shreyas,
Yes, sir.
Shlok,
Yes, sir.
Jay,
Yes, sir.
Vishwajit,
Yes, sir.
Monil,
Present, sir.
Harsh,
Yes, sir.
Adesh,
Yes, sir.
Tanmay,
Yes, sir.
Rahul,
Sir.
Chaitanya,
Present, sir.
Rahil,
Yes, sir.
Ayush, Kaustubh,
Yes, sir.
Arbaz, Rajiv,
Yes, sir.
Ravi,
Yes, sir.
Ryan,
Present, sir.
Ritvik,
Yes, sir.
Sagar,
Yes, sir.
Nishant,
Yes, sir.
Sanat,
Yes, sir.
Sarvesh,
Yes, sir.
Arwa,
Yes, sir.
Irfan,
Yes, sir.
Aniket,
Yes, sir.
Uttam,
Yes, sir.
sorry, Bhushan,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tejas,
Yes, sir.
Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
Manas, Varun,
Yes, sir.
Yash,
Yes, sir.
Arya, Omkar,
Yes, sir.
P. Hemant,
Yes, sir.
Shivpriya,
Present, sir.
Charvari, Anjali is there,
Yes, sir.
Kaveri,
Present, sir.
Aditi,
Present, sir.
Priya,
Yes, sir.
Ajakta,
Yes, sir.
Nisha, Neha,
Yes, sir.
Anushka,
Yes, sir.
Neha, Purti,
Yes, sir.
Arshada, Preeti, Shruti,
Yes, sir.
Sakshi,
Yes, sir.
Saloni,
Yes, sir.
Mugdha,
Yes, sir.
Srushti,
Yes, sir.
Rahul, Pratik,
Yes, sir.
Yash, Sarang,
Yes, sir.
Ashutosh,
Yes, sir.
Nivrutti,
Sir.
Bhagyashree,
Yes, sir.
and Shubhangi.
Yes, sir.
See, as per my record, Yash is absent, Rahul Yadav, then Mugdha, then
Sir,
Preeti
Mugda
Jain.
present.
Mugdha is there. Okay, then Preeti Jain and Harshada absent. Then who is this? Sharwari.
Sir, present.
Okay. Then Arya and Arbaz. Okay, that's it, I think. Yeah, no,
Sir,
there's more.
I'm present.
sir, Harshada is present. Her mic
Gurpreet,
isn't
Gurpreet
working.
is also present. Yeah, who is that? Harshada. Yes, actually, I can't see the. Okay, Harshada. Where is she?
Sir,
Yeah, just a minute.
listen.
Yes, just a minute. Yeah, Harshada is present then. Yes.
Mrityunjay, sir.
Mrityunjay. What is your spelling? MRI.
Huh. What's it?
How it spells your first name?
Mrityunjay.
MRU or MRI?
MRU.
I have marked you present.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so thank you. See you tomorrow.